Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Shraddha's Physics. This video is based on statistical mechanics for the core 14. See the Bose derivation of Planck's law. The most important application of this Bose-Einstein statistics, it is the derivation of Planck's law of distribution of energy in case of blackbody radiation. It was given by your Bose in 1924. Clear? This radiation in thermal equilibrium inside a blackbody, it is treated as a system of photons. They will obey Bose-Einstein statistics. Clear? So according to quantum physics, the radiation of this frequency nu, it has a quantum of energy, that is your h nu, where h is the Planck's constant and you know the momentum is h nu by c. This quanta are known as the photons or the packet of energy, or this is called your particles. The radiation inside a hollow enclosure, it consists of a very large number of photons of different energies. So we have already discussed that at thermal equilibrium case, this the blackbody radiation in equilibrium condition, this blackbody radiation is called photon gas. So in case of ideal gas, the number of particles and the total energy, it remains constant. But in case of photon gas, only the total energy at a particular temperature, it remains constant. But the total number of photons within this enclosure, it not constant. So they are continuously created or destroyed, we can say. That's why it is not constant. This photon gas is not constant. So when we are considering in the previous classes that this Ni is constant and the summation dNi is equal to 0, that is your constant. But here in case of photon gas, dNi is not equal to 0 since Ni is not constant. So the total energy of the system here, sum over Ei dNi equal to 0, or this is represented as your dE. Clear? This is not constant, but the energy of the particle, energy of the system is constant. That's why sum over Ei dNi equal to 0. Since energy is constant, sum over Ei dNi equal to 0. Now, the thermodynamical probability or the number of microstates available for that system, so omega will be equal to product over I equal to 1 to k Ni plus Gi minus 1 whole factorial divided by Ni factorial into Gi minus 1 whole factorial. Clear? So if I will take the logarithm of both sides, then this log omega will be equal to, this product over will change to summation over, this is your I equal to 1 to k, again this is your log of ln Ni plus Gi minus 1 whole factorial. This division becomes minus ln Ni factorial, again minus ln Gi minus 1 whole factorial. So here you can apply the Stirling approximation. So here by applying Stirling approximation, this is your log x factorial. So you can remember that ln x factorial will be equal to x ln x minus x. So by just putting this, we will get ln omega will be equal to sum over I Ni plus Gi minus 1 ln Ni plus Gi minus 1 minus Ni plus Gi minus 1. Again this ln Ni factorial becomes minus Ni ln Ni plus Ni, and ln Gi minus 1 factorial becomes minus Gi minus 1 into ln Gi minus 1. This will be plus Gi minus 1. Clear? So this is your Ni plus Gi minus 1 ln Ni plus Gi minus 1, this term. Here you can see that this is minus Ni plus Ni, get cancelled. This is your minus of Gi minus 1, this is your plus of Gi minus 1. So they will get cancelled. Now the remaining term will be minus Ni ln Ni minus Gi minus 1 ln Gi minus 1. Clear? This is your ln omega. Now if we will differentiate this with respect to Ni, and if we will consider that Ni is variable and your Gi is constant. So in that case, d of ln omega will be equal to sum over I. This will be your dNi. These are your constant. So these are becomes your 0. dNi ln Ni plus Gi minus 1 plus this is your Ni plus Gi minus 1 into ln of this much will be 1 by Ni plus Gi minus 1 into dNi. And this minus dNi, this will be minus dNi ln Ni minus this is your Ni into 1 by Ni, derivative of ln Ni 1 by Ni into dNi. Since this term contains your Gi and this is your constant, this term goes to 0. Then here taking this dni common, the remaining term will be ln ni plus gi minus 1, and you can see that this term get cancelled, only the term remains your dni. Here ni get cancelled, remaining term will be minus dni. So this minus dni plus dni get cancelled, only the term remains will be, this is your minus ln ni dni. Since ni is a very large number and the degeneracy is very large, so the combination of this ni and gi, this will be very large as compared to this one. Hence it can be written as d ln of omega will be equal to, neglecting 1, this will be ln ni plus gi, this is minus ln ni whole into dni. For most probable or equilibrium state, we can put omega to be maximum, hence d ln omega will be 0. So ln ni plus gi minus ln ni whole dni, this is equal to 0, or we can write it as, this is log a minus log b, this will be log a by b, that is ln ni plus gi divided by ni whole into dni, that is equal to 0. Clear? Again here multiplying this equation 1 with beta, equation 1 means here this is equation 1, sum over a dni equal to 0, that is equal to d. So multiplying beta here, so this will be, and again multiplying beta and equating it with the equation 2. This equation 2 is here ln ni plus gi divided by ni whole dni, this will be equal to beta into epsilon I dni or ei dni. So this equal to this 5, because here it is 0 and here also sum over ei dni is 0. So we can equate these two equations. Again taking this to the left hand side, we can write, and this is your dni common, ln ni plus gi divided by ni minus beta ei whole dni will be equal to 0. Now we can write it as, this bracketed term is equal to 0, that is ln of ni plus gi divided by ni equal to beta ei, or this beta will be 1 by kt, again this is ei by kt, or we can write ni by ni is your 1 plus gi by ni, that is equal to exponential ei by kt, or simply take 1, this will be gi by ni will be equal to 1 minus exponential ei by kt, or we can write it as ni will be equal to gi divided by, this is your exponential ei by kt minus 1. So if I will place, sorry, if I will take gi minus ni here, and if I will take 1 to be here right hand side, this will be exponential ei by kt, this will be minus 1. So gi by ni will be equal to exponential ei by kt minus 1, and again ni will be equal to gi, this term will goes here, that is gi divided by exponential ei by kt minus 1. Clear? Now to find the number of photons in the frequency interval nu and nu plus d nu, we have to consider a unit interval of frequency that will lie between nu minus r and nu plus r. It means that this nu before nu minus r and after that is nu plus r, and let n of nu, it is the number of photons in this interval. In this interval means in this frequency range, nu minus r to nu plus r. So n of nu can be written as, this will be g of nu divided by, this ei is your h nu divided by kt minus 1. Clear? So the number of photons in the frequency range nu and nu plus d nu will be, n of nu d nu will be equal to g of nu d nu. Simply we have multiplied d nu, and this is g of nu d nu divided by exponential h nu by kt minus 1. This g of nu d nu, it is the number of cells in the phase space volume lying in the energy interval, between h nu and h of nu plus d nu. So this is your h nu and this is your h nu plus h d nu. Clear? So this is the energy interval. We know that the number of cells in the phase space in momentum interval, if I write in the momentum interval as it is in your energy interval, energy you know h nu, so it varies between h nu to h nu plus d nu, h here taking common. Okay, H is here taken common, so you can write it as h nu plus h d nu. Similarly, in case of momentum, this interval if it is vary between p and p plus dp, so we can write the degeneracy as g of p dp will be equal to 4 pi vp square dp divided by h cube. So this is where the degeneracy. So the photons have two state of polarization. Since the photon have the two state of polarization, that is, it is left-handed polarized and your right-handed polarized. So the photons of one kind are indistinguishable from each other, but can be distinguished from the other kind due to different type of polarization. Clear? So here two type of polarization. So simply you can write for each two subsystem, we have to simply multiply this by 2. So that will be 8 pi vp square dp divided by h cube. Okay. Then for a photon of momentum p, we can write momentum will be equal to h nu by c, or you know p equal to energy divided by the velocity of light c, e by c, or simply that is p equal to h nu by c, or dp will be equal to h by c into d nu. So the g of nu d nu will be equal to, if I will put the value of p, if I will replace momentum in terms of frequency, so simply this will be 8 pi v divided by h cube in place of p square, this will be s square nu square divided by c square into dp is your h by c d nu. Clear? So cancelling h cube, this is s square into h cube, here h cube. So the remaining term will be 8 pi v divided by c cube, this is square into power 1, that will be c cube, nu square d nu. So the n of nu d nu, that will be equal to here this g of nu d nu, the value of this, that will be 8 pi v divided by c cube into nu square d nu into 1 by exponential h nu by kt minus 1. Since each photon has energy h nu, so the energy density E of nu d nu in this frequency range nu 1 nu plus d nu will be, you can see this is h nu into n of nu d nu divided by the volume V. Okay. So this energy will be E of nu d nu will be equal to, this is h nu by V into n of nu d nu. In place of this we can write like this. So the final expression will be E of nu d nu will be 8 pi, this V get cancelled, h nu cube divided by c cube into d nu divided by exponential h nu by kt minus 1. So this expression is known as the Planck's law in terms of frequency. This is the expression for your Planck's law. Again, if I will replace nu as your c by lambda, so d nu will be minus c by lambda square d lambda. Clear? So E of lambda d lambda will be equal to, this is 8 pi h by c cube into, in place of nu cube we can write c cube by lambda cube. Again, in place of d nu we can write minus c by lambda square into d lambda. Again into, this is your minus c by lambda square into d lambda. Again into, in place of exponential h nu by kt we can write 1 by exponential hc by lambda kt minus 1. Clear? We have neglected the negative sign. Why? Because the significance of this negative sign, it is that with increase in d nu, the change in wavelength it decreases. Here, if the change in frequency increases, so the change in wavelength it will be decreases, because this is minus d lambda. That is, if d nu is positive, d lambda will be negative. So simply we can, so we have here taken only the magnitude part. So this is the E of lambda d lambda will be equal to 8 pi h by c cube into c cube by lambda cube. This is your into c by lambda square d lambda into 1 by e power sc by lambda kt minus 1. So by cancelling c cube and this is your lambda cube lambda square, it becomes your lambda power 5, 8 pi h, this is c d lambda divided by exponential sc by lambda kt minus 1. This is the energy, this is the Planck's law in terms of your wavelength. Clear? This is the distribution of energy in the spectrum due to the radiation from a black body. This is called the energy density. This energy density, it actually lies between lambda and lambda plus d lambda. As here, this is the Planck's law expression in terms of frequency. This is also the expression of the energy density, and here the frequency is vary between nu to nu plus d. So this is all about Bohr's derivation of Planck's law. So thank you all.